Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Wonderful. Yes, we can.
Very good. Welcome, Ray. Okay, with that, I would somebody like to read the conservation ethic. Pat, you will.
Conservation ethic. Goal number 6, to foster conservation ethic among McHenry County citizens, helping all of us, regardless of the basis for our interest in nature, develop a greater awareness of our role in and responsibility for the total community of life. The conservation ethic assumes or asks us to assume a moral duty to become educated about conservation issues and to act on that information. The conservation ethic is an attitude that recognizes the importance of preserving the natural heritage of the county's open space. Goal number 3, to manage its areas in such manner that archaeological and historical resources are integrated with natural resources for optimum preservation, education, and recreational benefits.
And conservation stewardship pledge. Chris, can you get going? Sure. Thank you.
Conservation Stewardship Pledge. We pledge to make a difference by standing up for our water, wildlife, and our way of life in the county. Our quality of life in McHenry County depends on healthy and sustainable natural resources, thoughtfully developed cities and towns, and a strong economy, and beautiful outdoor places to explore, discover, and recreate. Number 11, we will manage public lands through science and in a manner that is responsive and resilient to the changing climate.
Thank you. I could use a motion to approve the agenda as presented. Bill has a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Linda has a second. Roll call.
Okay, that would be Treasurer Fritz,
Yes.
Vice President Cook,
Yes.
Trustee Dom,
Yes.
Secretary Thomas. Yes. Trustee Gayton.
Yes.
President Henning.
Yes. Agenda is adopted as printed. With that brings us to our special recognition and presentations for tonight's meeting. So we have several here tonight. Do we vote on each one of these individually before or after we present them?
I would read the resolution and then make a motion.
Okay. So do I have a copy of the resolution here? I do. Okay, our very first one is for honoring David Schwegler with the 2022 Conservation Champion Award. Would
Motion.
Have the motion first
In a second.
and then a second. So could somebody make that motion?
I'll
Bill has a motion, Chris has a second. And then I'll read this. Is that correct? And then we vote. Whereas the McHenry County Conservation District, hereinafter referred to as the district, is the conservation district organized and existing under the laws of the state of Illinois. And whereas one of the purposes of the district is to preserve and maintain wild land and hold it for the education, pleasure, and other open space values. Whereas the Board of Trustees of the district did authorize the creation of a conservation awards program to recognize the extraordinary contributions of individuals through the Conservation Champion Award and Conservation Legacy Award through Resolution 18-3 on January 18th, 2018. And whereas David Schwegler was nominated and recommended by the Conservation Champion and Conservation Legacy Awards Committee to receive the Conservation Champion Award in 2022, and now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of the district that it is desirable by the Board of Trustees of the district to approve the conferring of the 2022 Conservation Champion Award to David Schwegler in honor of the work and contributions to conservation in McHenry County. And be it further resolved that the President and Secretary of the Board of Trustees are hereby authorized to execute this resolution and execute the Director is authorized to execute other necessary documents to execute the intent of this resolution. It witnessed whereof the resolution 22-20 has been executed this 26th day of April 2022 by the President and attested by the Secretary of the Board of Trustees of the district. With that, we vote, and then so if you call the roll.
Trustee Dom,
Yes.
Trustee Gayton,
Yes.
Vice President Cook,
Yes.
Treasurer Fritz,
Yes.
Secretary Thomas. And President Henning.
Yes, motion carries unanimously. That. Did you? All right, well, thank you, that's great.
Watch the cord.
Yeah, I see that one, I see one over there, so.
Going through the maze. Well, it looks very nice.
It is very nice.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You.
If I can get you both to look here and smile and hold you can hold that out, John, facing this way, perfect. Thank you. One more. Perfect.
You have a little bit of background. Do you want to read that or do you want me to read that?
Yes, I do have that. In the background here is Dave Schwegler has been a volunteer for the Conservation District for 34 years. Time he has spent primarily at the Lake in the Hills Bend Conservation Area, and his passion for conservation are nothing short of astounding. Dave's contributes to several volunteer conservation efforts, including plants of concern monitoring, bird and butterfly monitoring, seed collection, the 2020 and 21 phenology projects, and habitat restoration management efforts. Over the years, he has studied the preservation, geological history, and ecology of Lake in the Hills Bend Conservation Area in great depth. Beyond the impacts towards conservation Dave makes at the 400-acre fen, he plays a role as teacher, mentor, and guide. With a background in teaching, his contributions are able to expand to others, encouraging active involvements in the fen's rich history and diverse ecology. Let me see. I always appreciated Dave's careful and insight explanation of what the fen is and how it is developed. Dave is a gifted teacher who clearly enjoys teaching others about this incredible place, stated fellow steward Pete Jackson. With his variety of impressive endeavors, Dave has upheld all aspects of the Conservation District's mission and continues to imprint his mastery of the fen on all those that cross his path. Thank you.
Good statement. I appreciate the award. I also appreciate the folks that come tonight and that show up and help me do that work. Without them, my leadership wouldn't be effective. So thanks, folks.
Okay, for our second one, we have McHenry County Conservation District Resolution 2221 honoring David Brandt with the 2022 Conservation Champion Award. Do I have a motion for that resolution? Linda, is there a second? Bill has the second. And with that, I will read the resolution. Whereas the McHenry County Conservation District, hereinafter referred to as the district, is a conservation district organized and existing under the laws of the state of Illinois. And whereas one of the purposes of the district is to preserve and maintain wild land and hold it for the education, pleasure, or other open space values. And whereas the Board of Trustees of the district did authorize the creation of a conservation award program to recognize the extraordinary contributions of individuals through the Conservation Champion Award and the Conservation Legacy Award through Resolution 18-03 on January 18th, 2018. And whereas David Brandt was nominated and recommended by the Conservation Congress and Conservation Legacy Award Committee to receive the Conservation Champion Award in 2022. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of the district that it is desirable by the Board of Trustees of the district to approve the conferring of the 2022 Conservation Champion Award to David Brandt in honor of the work and contributions to conservation in McHenry County. And be it further resolved that President and Secretary of the Board of Trustees are hereby authorized to execute this resolution and execute the Executive Director is authorized to execute other necessary documents to execute the intent of this resolution. In witness whereof this Resolution 22-21 has been executed this 26th day of April 2022 by the President and attested by the Secretary of the Board of Trustees of the district. I have the roll, please.
Secretary Thomas.
Yes.
Treasurer Fritz.
Yes.
Trustee Dom,
Yes.
trustee Gayton,
Yes.
vice president Cook,
Yes.
and president Henning.
Yes, motion carries unanimously. And,
It's like a white beard is required.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
One more, 1, 2, 3.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Thank you.
Perfect. Well, John, thank you very much. I'm thrilled and excited that my wife is here, Donna, and my oldest daughter Katie, and my granddaughter Etta, and my other daughters on Zoom. They couldn't make it, but they're all here, and I'm thrilled. I'm honored to be nominated and not honored to be selected, but also humbled. You know, I've been in the conservation community a long time, and there's a lot of people I know who deserve it more than I do. So thank you very much. I'm really honored. Thank you.
well, I do have a little bit to read here about Dave also.
Oh, shucks, no, John.
Dave Brandt, it is Dave here, it's not David, I guess. The other one was David, but anyway, Dave Brandt plays a pivotal role as a longstanding district volunteer, serving not only 1 but 2 terms on the board of trustees for a total of 10 years. However, what makes Dave extraordinary is he got out from behind the boardroom table. He took every opportunity to lend his expertise and experience as a natural resource and soil specialist while volunteering at numerous environmental programs, especially events. His positive attitude was always welcome, and he is considered a rock star amongst conservation district employees. Whenever possible, Dave was quick to recognize employee projects and accomplishments and give shout outs for time and effort put in indirectly building morale and driving progress and momentum forward. By sharing his leadership, knowledge, and dedication with the district, Dave has helped to guide the trajectory the district continues on to this day. Dave embodies the mission and vision of the district. His tireless effort, devotion toward promoting conservation, and overall love for McHenry County shines through. His contributions have certainly left an impact whereby the residents of McHenry County, including the flora and fauna, have benefited from his continued support. That's certainly true, Dave, and thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Moves us on to McHenry County honoring Ken Fisk with the 2022 Conservation Legacy Award. Can I have a motion? Pat has that motion. Chris would like to second that. Then I will read this. Whereas the McHenry County Conservation District is a conservation district organized and existing under the law of the state of Illinois, and whereas one of the purposes of the district is to preserve and maintain wildland and hold it for education, pleasure, or other open space values. Whereas the Board of Trustees of the district did authorize the creation of a conservation awards program to recognize the extraordinary contribution of individuals through the Conservation Champion Award and Conservation Legacy Award through Resolution 18-03 on January 18th, 2018. Whereas Kenneth Fisk was nominated and recommended by the Conservation Champion and Conservation Legacy Awards Committee to receive the Conservation Legacy Award in 2022. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of the district that it is desirable by the Board of Trustees of the district to approve the conferring of the 2022 Conservation Legacy Award to the family of Kenneth Fisk in honor of the work and contributions to the conservation in McHenry County that transcend time, and be it further resolved that the President and Secretary of the Board of Trustees are hereby authorized to execute this resolution, and the Executive Director is authorized to execute other necessary documents to execute the intent of this resolution. The witness whereof the resolution 22-22 has been executed this 26th day of April 2022 by the President and attested by the Secretary of the Board of Trustees of the district. Can I just have a roll, please?
Treasurer Fritz,
Yes.
trustee Gayton,
Yes.
vice president Cook,
Yes.
secretary Thomas. Yes. Trustee Dom,
Yes.
and president Henning.
Yes, motion carries unanimously. Member of the Fisk family.
Yep. would like to thank everyone, and the district for recognizing and honoring and continuing my good work. Thank you so much.
Here are Ken and the legacy that he left behind. Kenneth Van Dyne Fisk assisted with the legislation that established conservation districts in the state of Illinois and served as the district's first executive director from 1971 to 1985. Both Ken and his late wife, Darlene, were pillars of the conservation community for years in McHenry County. Throughout his career, Ken achieved numerous accomplishments and accolades. In 1952, he was selected as the Illinois Conservation Farmer of the Year. In 1969, Ken founded the Northeast Illinois Natural Resource Service Center based at the Morton Arboretum as a precursor of today's Chicago wilderness. He developed research centers related to the conservation for a chemical company, invented a machine to apply chemicals in a more conservation-friendly way, served for 30 years on the McHenry County Soil and Water Conservation District Board, served as a board member of Open Lands, chaired Illinois Nature Preserves Commission, helped found McHenry County Conservation Foundation, and in 2004 was inducted into the Illinois Outdoor Hall of Fame by the Illinois Conservation Foundation. Ken was professionally trained in natural resources and had a love for the outdoors, but what made him exceptional was that he was also a competent administrator connected at the local, state, and federal level. During this time with the Conservation District, he oversaw the acquisition of over 2,900 acres that were the beginning of 14 different parcels of sites we know today as Beck's Woods, Harrison Benwell, Thomas Woods, and Marengo Ridge, Coral Woods, the Hollows, Glacial Park, Grunstrom Woods, Hickory Grove, and Lions Prairie and Marsh, Nippersink Canoe Base, Elizabeth Lake, Rush Creek, Stickney Run, and Prairie Trail. Those who had the opportunity to know Ken personally have fond memories of his warm smile, sense of humor, love of community, and passion for conservation and conversation. He and Darlene, who preceded him in death, did so much for the conservation in McHenry County and will be remembered as such. Thank you to all three of those families. It quite often becomes a family.
I will vote the Smoky Bear and Woodsy Owl.
Very good. With that, I have our next recipient is Carolyn Campbell for the time she served on this board, and she does so much more than just that. But Lynn, would you like to come forward and so this is for her recognition for the time that she spent on this board. She left us a few months early so she could go on to the county board, but I'm sure she's done a great job of bringing support for us there, and we really appreciate the time you put in here with us. Lynn.
Perfect. One more. Thank you.
Say a few words.
Ooh, Wayne kind of wanted to. Without the mask, but thank you so much. It's really hard to follow Dave and Fisk for all that they've done over the years. I've only lived in that business a lot less, but they have for sure. But I will tell you one of the greatest things I was able to say more recently in life, obviously before it was being my children's mother. But when anytime I would talk to somebody, I got the opportunity to say that I was a trustee within the McHenry County Conservation District. And that was a really proud thing for me to say. I was always very humbled by that because I was representing an agency that was far, far bigger than me. And with a group of people, professionals, who were really dedicated to what they were doing every single day. And I got to kind of ride on their coattails. And in this room are the other foundation of the organization, and then our volunteers that keep this going as well. And it's just an amazing team. I will tell you, it was really hard to leave even 4 months early, because it's been so much fun and a lot of work, but it's fun, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the time with my colleagues as well. And so I thank you very much. I'm looking forward to continuing to do work with the Conservation District. I haven't gone anywhere, so I appreciate the recognition today. Thank you very much.
Well, then we have one more award that goes to our finance group. They won the Government Finance Officers Association for Budget Presentation Award. How many years is this now?
This is the
two,
second time.
But they've only
Only applied twice. So we've gotten it consecutively every time we apply.
So, congratulations to Andy and his team and everyone that's involved in that budgeting process.
And he's down in his office downstairs.
Okay. With that, we're going to keep this meeting moving along because I think there's a little get together afterwards, and I think we have a fairly short agenda tonight, so we should be able to go right through that. Any of the trustees have anything they would like to report? Good. All right, County Board Liaison is Kelly there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, very clearly.
Great. So first, I want to welcome Trustee Sean to his first official board meeting. I also want to say congratulations to Dave Schwagler, Dave Brandt, and Ken Fisk for and his family for everything they have done for the board and the district. Carolyn, thank you for all your hard work on the board, and congratulations to Andy and his team on the GFOA certification. I know that's a huge accomplishment. So a couple things. First, a couple weeks ago, you got your voter registration card. I want you to make sure that you look at it and check your polling place, because with the redistricting, your precinct number most likely changed, and there's a good chance that your polling place changed too. So for the board information, that we passed last Tuesday the intergovernment agreement for the police social work services between the many municipalities, the county, and the conservation district. So that is a definite go. We will be having a special finance meeting on May 5th to review the American Rescue Plan Act program, what we have left to distribute, and possibly review some projects that did not score as well to be reviewed the first time. And we will be deciding what the next steps are for the program. We may go back and pass some of the lower scoring projects. So I know that the Conservation District had submitted a few, so just be aware of that. We passed a resolution to update the bylaws of the Stormwater Management Committee. We tried to pass an amendment that would allow a representative for the municipalities to have somebody represent them instead of the mayors, because it's been a long time since we've had a quorum, and unfortunately, it did not pass because it had to be unanimous, and there was one person who voted no. And today, the Law and Government reviewed again the liquor ordinance that is being updated. Currently, it's on 30-day review, and then it will be voted on May 17th. And you may wonder why this is important and why I'm talking about it. Well, there's a few new class of licenses that we're adding. So first, we're adding a Class W license. So now the county will allow brew pubs, winemakers, and distilleries to sell and serve spirits, beer, wine. We never had any sort of winery or local brewery or something like that in the county and the unincorporated. So that is starting. What's most exciting to you guys probably is that we're adding a Class M license for agritourism. And we define what agritourism is. And they also have some stipulations. For example, if you get the license, it's for one location. You have to follow the other liquor ordinance policies. And then there is a fee, but it's only $25 up to 6 months. So anybody who falls into this agritourism, I apologize, agritourism definition will be allowed to have the liquor licenses. So for example, an apple orchard, conservation district, things like that. The hours that the liquor can be served will be noon to midnight. And that way it can accommodate for weddings that want to go longer into midnight. And we also did reestablish rules for we established rules for another liquor class for BYOB establishments because we didn't have any of that in the county. If you want to look at the amended version, so the newest version, it will be on the May 17th meeting agenda packet. And lastly, due to time constraints and demands on my time, I've decided that I will be attending one meeting for the Conservation District in person and one virtually each month. So starting in May, I'll attend the committee of the whole meeting virtually and the board meeting in person. And I hope you all understand that I do take this position as liaison very seriously, and I'm committed to continuing my representation of the Conservation District to the county board. I just am trying to find a balance between work and home life and everything else going on. So that's my report. And if you guys have any questions, you can let me know. Thank you.
Well, that brings me to my report. The only thing I have to report is I did go to one of the roundtables that followed the Conservation Congress at Lost Valley Visitor Center, and Bill was there also, and it was a very enthusiastic group, and everybody participated very well. And I think, Elizabeth, we have a lot of good follow-up going from. So, okay, with that being said, that would bring me to public comments. Is there anybody from the public that would like to comment? Kevin.
May I?
Certainly, please do.
Thank you. So Kevin Ivers, on behalf of the McHenry County Conservation Foundation, wanted to extend our gratitude for the hospitality extended by district and volunteers and everybody that made the Congress happen. We had the opportunity with the foundation after the Congress to make a few phone calls just in gratitude for the attendees. And so everybody I spoke with was very appreciative of the event. But it was also interesting because you could hear about how some of the things they were thinking about afterwards were maybe some new paths of inspiration. So I know we're just scratching the surface as we get into these events, but it's the follow-ups and things afterwards. So I haven't been to any of the roundtables, but I'm really excited for it and grateful that we were able to do this, and looking forward to what's to come. So thank you all, and to the board and staff for making this such a successful event.
Well, thank you to the foundation for everything you did, that you helped out with. Yeah, that was great. So, it was very thought provoking. I don't know if everybody went home all warm and fuzzy afterwards, but they did at least have something to think about. So thank you. Anyone else have any comments they'd like to make? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on. Consent agenda. We're ready, Linda, for you to make that motion.
Make a motion to approve the board business consent agenda as read. Want me to go ahead?
Yes, please do.
12.1, approval of minutes of previous meetings. 12.1A, March 22nd, 2022, regular meeting. 12.1B, February 17th, 2022, executive session, committee of the whole. 12.2, acceptance of the treasurer's report. 12.2A, March 31st, 2022. 12.2B, acceptance of the investment report, fiscal year 2022, quarter 4. 12.3, resolution number 22-23, a resolution adopting the fiscal year 2023 legislative program. 12.4, resolution number 22-24, a resolution authorizing the submittal of a grant for the stream bank stabilization and trail renovation project near Algonquin for the congressional directed spending from U.S. Senator Tammy Duckworth's office. 12.5, resolution number 22-25, a resolution authorizing the submittal of grant for the Prairie Trail Bridges Replacement Project in Glacial Park for the community project funding from the U.S. Representative Lauren Underwood's office, 14th Congressional District. 12.6, ordinance number 22-1016, and ordinance adopting the 2022 hunting administrative directive for deer, waterfowl, and the use spring turkey. 12.7, resolution number 22-26, a resolution approving the sale of 0.75 feet of stream credits to Continental 629 Fund LLC on behalf of Springs at St. Charles, USACE nationwide permit 29, USACE file number LRC 2021 937 at $600 per foot for a total cost of $72,000. And 12.8, resolution number 22-27, a resolution appointing Elise Livingston as director, May 2022, January 2025 to the McHenry County Conservation Foundation. 12.9, resolution number 22-28, a resolution authorizing the district to participate in and submit a letter of support for the American Bird Conservancy Regional Conservation Partnership proposal to the Natural Resource Conservation Service and authorizing the executive director to execute any necessary documents. 12.10, authorization to prepare and solicit a request for proposals for engineering services to design a stable fen and spring run restoration at Bogger Bog, RFP number 0422.08.01.
Thank you, Linda. Is there a second?
Just a point of order, did we make sure that I didn't hear it? I just want to make sure, did we get the 12.1C and 12.1D, the minutes of April 15th and April 20th?
It's not on my agenda.
Is it not on the, it's not on the detailed agenda there? Okay, all right. So my apologies on that. It should be, it's on the blue agenda.
Okay, hold on.
It was added from executive session.
So it's 12.2.
12.1C and 12.1B.
I can read those, and also into the motion would be 12.1C, the April 15th, 2021 committee of the whole in executive session, and 12.1D, April 20th, 2021 special call meeting executive session. Those minutes. So this include okay, connect.
I have just a question on that 12.7, really 0.75 feet. Seems like we are.
0.75.
That is what I had.
It's like.
Like that price.
It includes 0.75 acres of wetland credit to compensate for 0.5 acres of environmental impacts.
So it's 3/4 of an acre.
Yes. That's feet.
Not
It
feet,
should
not
be
feet.
acre. It should be acre. Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna change that to 3/4 of an acre. This is $600 per foot. So is that per square foot? Then that doesn't make any sense.
It's, let's see. It was around 1,000 acre times 0.75 an acre of credit equals 72,000.
Elizabeth? It's $96,000 is the rate per acre.
96,000 is the acre, but the total cost of what the credit is 72,000.
Correct. 96,000 times 0.75 because you're 72.
The board summary is correct if you look further into it.
So it's 96,000 acre at 0.75 an acre. What we have in the motion, that should not, it should be acres, not feet. But the total
And,
is 72,000.
and we're collecting $72,000.
Correct.
Might be $96 per acre.
96,000 per acre.
Yeah.
Or 600 those.
Do you want us to
Those two
rephrase
separate
them?
things. The
Right.
first one is the stream
Stream
credits.
credit,
and
that
then
is
the
right.
revenue credits, yeah, and we have the stream credits in there. Yeah, unintentional, I believe.
All right.
It's for acre.
That being understood, we're actually accepting $72,000 for 3/4 of an acre. And that's what's part of what is the motion. So with that being said, can I have a second? Chris has a second. Any more questions? Shouldn't really be on a consent agenda, but anyway, so. For the consent agenda, so I'll call the question.
Okay, with those changes included, both the correction to 12.7 and adding of the minutes, the 12.1C and 12.1D of April 15th and April 20th of 2021. All right, trustee Gate,
Yes.
secretary Thomas? Yes. Vice President Cook? Here. Trustee Dom?
Yes.
Treasurer Fritz?
Yes.
And President Henning?
Yes, motion carries unanimously. Okay, thank you. All right, they'll move us on to other business. Approval of the bills payable for the month of March 2022, treasurer's internal audit. Anybody pull any bills they'd like to have checked? They have one this month? If we have done this most.
I've read the minutes, I know you have.
Okay. But we didn't do it. We're not gonna do it this month. All right. How would you do the motion for the council of FS?
Excuse me, 13.1. Concert of FS as indicated on submission of bill for the period ending March 31st, 20.
For a second. The bill has a second. Call the roll, please.
Okay, Vice President Cook?
Yes.
Trustee Dom?
Yes.
Secretary Thomas? Yes. Treasurer Fritz?
Yes.
Trustee Gayton?
Yes.
President Henning?
And I will abstain, so the motion carries 5-4 and 1 abstention. Pat,
13.1C, consideration of approved payment. Balance of bills is indicated on the submission of bills pending report for the month ending March 31st, 2022.
second. Chris has the second. Call the roll, please.
Okay, Vice President Cook?
Yes.
Trustee Dom?
Yes.
Secretary Thomas? Yes. Treasurer Fritz?
Yes.
Trustee Gayton?
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries unanimously. Okay, with that brings us to executive director's report. Elizabeth?
I gave most of my report last week. The only thing I will say is we had an amazing Earth Day celebration on Saturday at the Prairie View Center. It was very well attended. It was the most beautiful day. Gloria, some other Earth, was sharing her support for that event, and staff just did an amazing job. We did have a time capsule there. We had our foundation was there as well, and the Environmental Defenders is a great partner with many other partners within the McHenry County community. Just tabling and great music, great food, and great activities for the kids and the whole thing. That's all I have.
All right, great, thank you. Committee assignments and reports. Fox River ecosystem, we have anybody attend that? No, how about Kishwaukee River? Ray, did you attend that? Do they have anything this month?
There's no meeting this month. There's a meeting next month or next week.
Okay, next week. All right, very good. Chicago Wilderness.
We had an executive council meeting just recently. Our next time we'll get together is in July. And we signed on with the public communications, doing our public relations marketing on the Green Vision launch. So more information will be coming out on that, but that'll be very exciting because we're trying to push out information, as well as we sent a letter of support on the 30 by 30 to IDNR. And then we're also working within the other 3 states, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Michigan to follow suit to their elected officials as well in their state legislature.
Farm Bureau.
We met on April 13th. We had 2 directors that went through the ALOT program. The ALOT program is Agricultural Leaders of Tomorrow. It's like an intense 80-hour training. Brandon Walter and Chris McKee. So hopefully it turns out we got new leaders.
I think you do. I know both of them. They're very good. Okay, IACFPD, IAPD, and NRPA.
I have no update.
No update there. Okay, foundation.
I have not attended a meeting, but they do have, as you know, that they do have a new director, Elise Livingston, and Kevin is here.
Yes, Kevin, you want
So
to,
do you wanna-
you'd like
do
to
you wanna
report?
update?
Well, thank you for the appointment officially. That's exciting. So
Yes.
we're excited to keep moving forward. And obviously now getting out and going through the community. We'll be looking ahead to our next strategic plan, probably coming up a little bit later this year. And so I think there'll be some opportunities for collaboration at that, and we'll be in touch probably about another joint meeting as we did last year. So looking forward to that.
Thank you, Kevin.
I, at the roundtable, sat with Elise at the roundtable going, I both did, and she seems like would be a great asset for your group.
We are excited.
Yeah, she seems to be also. So that's great. So,
Good for you guys. Thank you.
let's see. McCog, anybody, anything going on there? Elizabeth, do you?
I did not attend, and I believe they have another meeting coming up. But if any trustee wants to attend, please let me know. Happy to have you start attending those events.
Green drinks, did you? You know what
I did
their-
not attend.
Oh,
Green
well, they
Drinks.
didn't have, their meeting was the same as
Same
our.
night as our Congress,
So they
yes.
didn't have that.
So next
do you know-
month, first
so they have
Wednesday.
Something coming up. Okay, John Kramer, bicycle and pedestrian plan, anything new there?
Yeah, the plan is, they're still working on it. We were supposed to see a draft of that in late March. They're delayed a little bit on it. We're hoping to see it next month, kind of a pre-final draft. And then the other thing that was discussed was the Pedalpalooza. And that is an interesting event, a fundraising event that is it's May 21st and 22nd. And the premise is to eat, shop, and drink local in McHenry County, a fundraising event for Families Health Partnership Clinic. It's basically using bicycle trails. People buy a wristband, and then they have dozens of places in the county that you can get a discount, 20% off a meal or something like that, or a 20% discount on an article of clothing. The whole concept is the support the local economy, get out and get active. It's kind of the premise of what this active working community or group is about. So kind of a cool event. Again, it's May 22nd and 21st and 22nd. And if you want more information, I can certainly forward you a link to it. And that's all I've got.
Thank you. Henry County.
We had a board meeting and we talked a lot about the new guidance and updates that we will be making. There is a subgroup which I'm sitting on that is going to be looking at the data from DataFi that we have available and how we can market that out to different businesses and entities. And then naturally McHenry County participated as part of our Congress, and they have a current challenge that's ongoing where you visit conservation district sites and then you connect to a local business and then you can be joined in for the challenge. So they're continuing to promote, cross-promote district activities and our local businesses.
Any other outreach contacts? Okay. That brings us to public comments too. Is anybody else thought of? Not, I would. Chris has a motion. Second.
Treasurer Fritz,
Yes.
Vice President Cook,
Yes.
Trustee Dom,
Yes.
Secretary Thomas. Yes. Trustee Gayton.
Yes.
President Henry.
Yes. Unanimous, we're adjourned. Everyone's welcome to stay for a little reception afterwards, and I believe it's outside, so. appreciate everyone coming tonight and thank you for all that.